Okay, so welcome. We're going to be doing some yin yoga this morning. So this is a slow, gentle practice. The point of most of the practice is that we're going to be really focusing internally, and we're going to be focusing on releasing muscle control and instead focus on surrendering into gravity and letting our bodies slowly release. And I know this sounds like maybe it's a very, very relaxing practice, and it can be, but I've tried to kind of plan a rejuvenating or energizing yin practice today for us. So if you have blocks or pillows or blankets or anything like that close by, that will be really useful to you as we go through our practice, so you can really support your body well and find that nice release of effort that hopefully will be very cleansing, very rejuvenating and nice on this brisk Sunday morning. So we'll start with a comfortable seated position. Feel free to elevate your hips on a blanket or a cushion or whatever you have handy. And find a place where you can sit tall with as little effort as possible. So you might kind of shift around, rounding down through your hips, through your legs, and then kind of lifting and lengthening up through the spine. I almost like to imagine sometimes with like one of those snakes and a snake charmer where it kind of weaves, lifting up, lengthening, so that a tall posture becomes effortless. Soften the shoulders, gently broaden across the chest, soften the jaw, the throat, and the neck. And take a few natural breaths. Notice the natural flow of your breath. Notice how you feel energetically and emotionally right now. Notice if there are any physical parts of your body that are calling your attention and might be particular cares. And to breathe a little bit more intentionally, keeping the throat soft. Begin to imagine that you breathe with your whole body, allowing the breath to extend beyond the lungs as you inhale, filling up. And then imagine the whole body emptying. Sending breath and energy all the way out to the whole body as you inhale. Allowing that energy breath to leave the body as you exhale. Breathing in this way allows you to bring your awareness into parts of your body that you might not usually bring attention to, or in a way that you might not usually bring attention to. Continue with this kind of intentional breath, sending it to different parts of the body throughout. My intention today is to just remain, to notice what's happening in the body in a passive way, but also in a caring, listening, noticing, trying to avoid anything like judgment. A few more breaths here. Sleep. Additional breath. First long held focus will come into is a standing forward fold. So gradually and slowly come up to stand. If you have a chair or some blocks or something like that nearby, or even some cushions, that can help. But you can also do this without props if you like. So with props, you'll rest your hands on the prop so that you can put a little weight in there. Without props, you'll bend your knees really generously so that your body can rest on the thighs. And you might rest your hands on your feet or on your legs, or you might even hold on the opposite leg. And really, wherever you are with your forward folds, even if you have the props available to you, you really want to bring the abdomen as close to the thighs as you can, so this can be nice and restful. Let the head reach down towards the floor. And feel nice and supported underneath your feet. But begin to release any kind of muscle tension or activation that you're feeling, especially through the spine. So let your head really release into ground. And as you do, see if you can release through the back, or through the shoulders, or through the legs. And most of us will feel something of pull on the legs. And that's okay. Just breathe through it. Focus on lengthening and releasing the back and the spine. Continue with slow, intentional breaths. Perhaps breathing mainly into the back of the body, even into the backs of the thighs. And stay in this original position that you chose. So sometimes in our other practices, we are working on going deeper with our holds. But in this style of yoga, this yin yoga, we are wanting to find that good edge and then stay here, exploring the edge in relative stillness. A few more slow breaths here, seeing where along your back, shoulders, neck, and head you can release a little more. One more full breath. You might even invite a yawn. And then we'll very carefully move down to the floor. You can go straight there, or if you feel like you'd like to come up to stand and do a little counter opening through the front of the body, you're welcome to do that. And then just make your way down to the floor, carefully, gently. Coming to a hands and knees position. And you can feel free to take really small, gentle movements in between postures here, if you like. or just pause in stillness and kind of feel the effects of the posture. So we'll come into a heart opener, kind of a side opener. So the first thing you're going to do is have your knees about hip distance apart, maybe a little wider, and then come down onto your elbows and forearms. And you might walk these a little bit further forward, just kind of depending on your own flexibility. And then you'll bring one hand behind the opposite elbow. And then reach that straight arm forward so you can bring your forehead onto your forearm. And breathe here, sinking down to the heart as much as is comfortable for you. Taking the first few moments in the posture to really adjust and make sure you have everything just right. And then come into stillness. And if you feel strain on the back here, first try to release into it, breathe through it. And if that is causing more strain in your body, then you can gently resist, hugging the low belly in, letting the chest and the upper back be the more passive part of this pose. More slow, full breaths in. About sinking down to the heart, but also kind of sinking back to the breathing into the side body, breathing into the chest. And when you're ready, slowly transition, and pressing into the forearm, walking that straight arm back so you can use it to help us up. All the way to your hands and again, feel free to take a little bit of movement here just to kind of explore changes, pause and stop. Ready, you'll slowly transition to the other side. So coming on the forearms, and then bringing the opposite hand back. Slowly lengthening forward. And taking your time, finding your best pose on this side. Recognizing that it might be a little bit different. You might need to adjust something a little. But then when you're ready, you can come into stillness. Everywhere with the breath. Finding where you can release. Where you can surrender to gravity. And noticing where you might need to send your breath to encourage that release and softening. A few more slow, full breaths. Noticing sensation. With the sensation. And very slowly position. Taking time and needs for any gentle movement. And come around to sit. Bringing one leg out to the side and one leg in. And if you have a tendency, like I do, to really lock the joints, you might bring a little support underneath your extended leg here so that there's a little more support and that joint isn't at risk of really falling into gravity. You might also want a little bit of support in front of you. So kind of adjust your seat a little so that you can begin by sitting tall here. And it might be a good practice for you in these next few postures just to sit up and to settle into tall posture here. Or you might like to slowly, with your breath, begin to come forward. Remembering to release all muscle activation. So I find it really useful to go very slowly here. So all along the way, I can encourage the muscles to relax. And then coming into your forward fold here as you're ready. And taking a little time to settle into your best position. Finding that nice edge. And then committing to stillness. Using just the movement of the breath and the movement of your own posture to help you come into a state where the body can release more. One more. And you're ready. And so press you up. Slowly to sit. Move the prop in front of you And then bring both legs in front of you, starting with your knees quite. And you're going to lean forward here and give yourself a nice hug. And this might be the place that you want to stay. Or you might start to walk the feet forward a little bit, keeping those arms nice and wrapped, until you come into a place where you can stay. So we're practicing both a forward fold and an opening through the upper back here. So feel free to adjust your arms a little bit, or adjust your legs or your head to get a little bit of opening sensation through the back of the body, especially up into the upper back. Maybe even tucking the chin a lot to get more opening through the back of your neck. And then breathing here, even into the belly, which is restricted here. Using the movement of the breath to help you find more expansion and more release through the back of the body. If this is not really comfortable for your body and your arms, you can always rest under the sides of your legs and use any support here to make this more comfortable. One more full breaths here. When you're ready, gently releasing, slowly walking up and taking a moment to sit and move with you. And then we'll do the same posture from before with the opposite leg up to the side. Again, use support underneath your extended leg if you like. Readjust your seat if you need. Use support in front of you if you like. Take a moment to sit tall here. Get oriented in your body, feel length in the spine. And keeping muscles relaxed, slowly transition into a pose. Remembering that this side might be quite different, so you might need to support differently in order to have that same goal of finding an appropriate edge that you can maintain. Finding that stillness gradually, returning to your breath, and returning to that state where you can notice sensation and welcome sensation, even ones that you might usually interpret as negative. Maybe something that gives you the message of a tight area. I encourage you to welcome this sensation as a messenger and explore it. So don't analyze, but instead, as if you are asking your body, what is this telling me? What are you experiencing? Slowly exploring your own internal experience. And then slowly, slowly sit. Bring both legs straight out in front of you. And you can just sit tall here in stillness if you like. Find a little bit of movement that suits you. And then we're going to go now into some bigger hip opening postures. And I'm going to give you a choice here between dragon pose or swan pose. You might know these as a lunge or pigeon. So the first choice would be to hold a position like this, and maybe you support underneath your hands or underneath your elbows if you're able and comfortable to go down a little further. So this will be a little bit more opening to the back hip, and in some ways stronger because there's a little bit more weight going into the body. Your other choice would be to do what is called a swan or a pigeon. So walking that front foot out to the side of your mat and then getting a support underneath this front hip. So if you're not right on the ground here, it'd be a good idea to support here so that you can be more passive in your alignment. And you can choose to stay upright in this posture, or you can choose to lay down. So make your choice for your first side coming into your lunge, your dragon pose, or into this sleeping swan or raised swan position. So I'm going to choose this one for myself today and find that appropriate edge for this side, which is supported underneath my hip, coming down a little bit. And I might be able to rest my head a little bit further as we progress here. But I think I'm going to go ahead and grab a support for underneath my forehead. So come into your chosen position. Find your breath. Let that back hip sink down into gravity without straining. And again, welcome and explore sensation. Noticing what's happening in both the front and the back hip, as well as through your low back, through your arms and shoulders. Notice if any tension arises in your face, neck, or shoulders. Notice if resistance arises in the hips. And try to encourage and ease into the release and softness. Continuing with that slow, full breath. Stay for 1 or 2 more full breaths. And when you're ready, gradually press yourself up. Move any thoughts out of the way. Come all the way to your hands and knees. And then back into a child's pose, preferably with the knees pretty close together. But go to wherever you're comfortable, supporting underneath your head if you like. Sink back through the tailbone, sink down through your head. Nice full breaths. You're ready, you'll transition for the other side, preferably doing the same pose on your second side. So step your opposite foot forward and decide if it's good for your body to stay in this dragon lunge on this side, maybe even coming down onto your forearms or down to the prop. Or if you'd like to walk that foot over and bring the hip down for a swan position. And again, you can choose to stay upright here, or you can choose to come down. And then wherever you are, the focus becomes on keeping the hips square, letting this back hip gently sink down towards the mat, while also staying grounded in the front leg. Maintain good, full breath. Maintain that sense of curiosity and exploration rather than any kind of attitude of forcing. Noticing sensation in the front and the back. How what is happening in these parts of the body reverberates through the rest of the body. You're ready, slow to out of this posture. Once again, take all the way back into child's pose. Bringing your hands and your head to rest wherever is comfortable. Making sure your forehead is connected to something. So you can release down through your head, sink down through your hips and your tailbone. When you're ready, transition to come all the way onto. You'll want plenty of room to your sides here for our last posture that we'll do before our time of breathing. So come onto your back. And if you have limited space to your sides, you'll want plenty of space on your left side to start. So you might kind of scoot to the right side of your space. And now straighten your left leg out. Bring your arms out to your sides like a T. And then either draw the right knee up into the chest, or you might extend that leg all the way up towards the ceiling. And so our goal here, goal in quotes there, is ideally to bring the right big toe into the left fingers. But if that's not comfortable for you, you just keep the knee bent and cross over to the floor, or maybe support underneath your knee and shin here with a pillow or another kind of prop. If you can, if it's comfortable, you can extend the right leg into the left two fingers here. And this might be where you stay, stretching the right hand back behind you, which is especially a nice opener through the right side of the chest. Or to take this into the left knee and thigh as well, you might bend that left knee so you can reach down and then get the left foot or toes with the right hand. And so wherever you are, you're trying to encourage the shoulders to sink to the floor. Encourage this top leg to sink towards the floor. Encouraging length through the right side of the waist. And then taking nice full breaths here. Again, working towards that release and stillness. Just a couple more full breaths here. And slowly release. If your leg is straight, bend it. And then slowly come back to a neutral position on your back. Both knees bent, both feet on the mat. Letting the pelvis settle, letting the shoulders settle. And then for the other side, if you need to, shift over towards the left side of your space. You've got plenty of space. Start by straightening the right leg. And then either draw the left knee in and cross it over, or extend the left leg up and cross it over. Bringing the leg to rest on the floor, or if it's comfortable, bringing the left big toe into the right fingertips. And then stay here, or choose to bend the right knee and hold on to the right foot or the right toes. Think about letting that left hip sink away from the waist. Think about letting the shoulders straight towards the floor. And then breathe and release. Couple more full breaths. Release your feet if you're holding them. Bring those knees up towards the middle spirit. Come back to a neutral position on your back. Rest here, letting the pelvis settle, letting the shoulders settle. Breathe and notice. And then hug the knees into the body. You can leave your arms relaxed if you like. Or you can hug the thighs or the knees a little bit closer. And then from here, make your way into a Shavasana rest position. You can choose to support underneath your knees if you like, or maybe bring a little bit of a roll underneath your neck. And then take your time adjusting here, getting everything just right. You might kind of stretch and reach your toes out. You might kind of wiggle around and roll your shoulders under. You might turn the palms to face up, move the head. And then take your time settling in. Slowly finding stillness. Slowly sinking down through all of the joints. Continue to keep the breath full and intentional. I invite you to imagine the breath like a warm light that begins down at the right foot. And as you slowly inhale, this warm light travels up the right leg, through the right side of the body, the right arm, through your right nostril. And then as you exhale, it circles back down through the left nostril, through the left side of the body, left leg, all the way down to the left foot. And continue like this, inhaling all the way up to the right side of the body. Exhaling down to the right side of the body. Maybe your breath gets a little bit slower as you continue this practice, circling the body, the breath up to the right side of the body, and down the left side of the body. The next breath, change directions. Inhaling the breath up to the left side of the body, and exhaling down to the right side. One more breath. And then with your next inhale, imagine the breath sweeping all the way through the whole body, up from the feet to the top. And as you exhale, imagine the breath sweeping back down from the head to the feet. Few more breaths of this. And gradually, the next few breaths, allow the breath to become more relaxed. And stay here in this restful state. Allowing your awareness to move through your body. remaining present with sensation. Normal breathing through transition. See if you can remain in this state as much as possible. You're ready carefully back to a seated position for final meditation. As you transition, come back to that state of stillness and awareness. Noticing what is present in your body right now. Noticing how you feel energetically and mentally. Take a moment to make a memory of what this feels like. Take a moment to awaken a sense of gratitude for this practice and for what you have learned in yourself as you move through it. And then bring your palms together in front of your heart, resting on top. And set an intention for yourself to bring a little bit of this practice with you, or an intention to remember something you have learned from yourself this morning. Set the intention to bring this thing with you as you move through your day. Thank you all for joining the practice this morning. The highest and best in you. It's the highest and best in you. Namaste. Have a wonderful day before the train comes.